Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So I'm talking Satellarknights in this video, and more specifically their fans, because I kind of look at Satellarknights right now and I'm just like, where the hell did your player base go? Because if it is here, for the life of me, I can't seem to find it. And I mean, everybody knows at this point, I get on DN pretty much daily, and you know, sometimes I'll get on there, I'll peek into the top 5 rated games just to see if there's anything interesting for me to commentate. And you know, it's Shadal, a bad Shadal variant, and maybe one Burning Abyss, and I'm just like, where the hell happened to all the Satellarknights? Like, where did they go? You know, from what I've been hearing over basically the last maybe week, 9 days or something like that, is basically everybody who jumped on the S-Knight bandwagon after they pretty much dominated ARG Atlantic City, and, you know, Deneb went from $15 to $40 in the span of one day. Basically, all of those players abandoned the deck and they're now all playing Shadals. And you know, I'm not really upset because the Yu-Gi-Oh community has been known to do this from time to time, but I'm just like, holy shit. You know, I'm kind of shocked because I did a video exactly 6 days before the, you know, ARG event and the Deneb price spike and all that stuff, saying that, you know, I was just kind of talking about the deck, and I thought that it would be the deck that I chose out of the big 4 that came out of Duelist Alliance because, you know, I played it, I was having fun, and I thought the deck was really competitive and nobody was really talking about it. It was like a deck that nobody even realized was coming out, and I had a lot of people who were saying, Capital G, everybody knows this deck and it's going to be really good, and you know, they don't need Star Straps and Shockmaster, and just wait, we're all going to be playing this and it's going to be lovely and all of this stuff. And 2 seconds later, you cannot find Satellarknights. Like, you go around regionals or just other big events, Dueling Network, Dev Pro, it's like, where are the Satellarknight players? And it could be that we're just lazy as players. I mean, let's be real, Satellarknights obviously don't have the greatest game 1 against Shadals, but anybody who's played S-Knights for more than like 5 games, you probably already knew that. And I think that just because a deck doesn't have the best matchup against, you know, what is perceived to be the best deck of the format, doesn't mean you just have to abandon the deck like I'm going to do with my awful injury-filled 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs, who completely disappoint me every single week, but that's a different point, and we're not going to go on that. I've been on Duelist Grounds lately, and I've been talking to, you know, some people who play Satellarknights, been on the Pojo strategy forums, and a lot of the S-Knight players are just like, no, we're just going to main deck Soul Drain and Shadow Mirrors now, and I mean, we're basically going to handle the Burning Abyss and the Shadow matchups that way because we know that they're not, you know, in our favor, especially game 1, and that really is what I like to see. I like to see when people don't just, you know, throw away a deck just because you lost a couple of games. You know, experiment, pick up some new cards, figure out why you're losing to certain decks, and that's not only how you improve your worst matchups, that's how you become a much better player. And I feel like in this situation, we had a lot of people when Duelist Alliance launched that they looked at a whole bunch of new decks into the meta. Batteryman and Burning Abyss and Shadows, S-Knights, you know, Yang Zing, and they were just like, well, I'm not really sure what to play. And then they saw all the pro players playing Satellarknights, and they were like, okay, well, I'm picking that up, you know. And then they started testing and started playing, and they kind of ran into a wall. They hit a wall against Shadows, and rather than, you know, try to figure out the matchup, try to figure out what works and doesn't work, they just said, you know what, well, if you can't beat them, let's join them. And they all kind of jumped ship way too quick. And maybe I was expecting too much of the, you know, competitive community, but you can look at it, it's pretty clear. 3 weeks ago, Satellarknights were easily seeing as much play as Shadows, and now it's like Ghost Town USA if you try and find, you know, like consistent high-level Satellarknight matches. I mean, you don't even find mirror matches anymore. It's like them shits don't even happen. So for any real S-Knight players out there, for people who are really fans of the deck, for people who are going to continue to play this until Travelli comes out and you're sticking with the deck through thick and thin, I commend you, because clearly a lot of the sheep out there, they picked the deck up, they said, you know what, this is way too hard, and they were just like, threw their hands up in the air and said, all right, I'm done. I'm jumping ship. I'm going to go play Shadows. And I don't know, man. That's that shit I don't like. I don't like when people play a deck they flock to it, and then immediately after the next event, something else wins, and they're just like, I'm going to that deck too. It's something that just irks me, you know what I mean? I know that Evil Swarm isn't the best deck, but like I'm continuing to play it, or I'm continually playing it right now because Shadow matchup is really, really good, and it's a really solid anti-meta deck. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, as always.
Subscribing makes life happy.